Hello everybody, welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today we are going to talk about Vorosh the Hunter, deck number 403. First I want to give a shout out to all the patrons out there, thank you all very much. But today we have got, let's see, blue, black, green, what is that? Is that Sultai? Is that Sultai? Hold on, I got a card here that tells me. Yeah, Sultai. Okie dokie. Now, 6/6 for 6 flying, deals combat damage to a player. You can pay 3 if you do put a 6/1/1 counters on Vorosh. So this is how I read it. Now, I read it as, number one, this is a commander you want to get into combat with. Obviously. Because he has to deal combat damage, and then you're looking at a 12/12. So even though it is a 6/6, he is still part of the 3-hit club. If you've got the 3 mana, the first time you will do 6, and then you will do 12. That is 18. Yeah. If double strike is a thing, I honestly didn't think about it when I built the deck, so I don't have a double strike enabler in here. That would be really good. Yeah. Hindsight and whatnot. But anyway, the very first thing is we've got to get Vorosh out on the board. We got to cast it. And 3 specific pips in 6 mana. So let's look at our ramp and color fixing. And there is a bunch of it. The banner, Felwar Stone, we get into the guild rocks. You know, what is that? 3 from Simic. We've got Dimir, the Cluestone, the Key Rune, the Locket, and the Signet. Golgari, we have the Locket, the Signet, the Key Rune, and the Cluestone. And of course, we have a Soul Ring and a Gilded Lotus. Yeah, that's a whole lot of mana Excel. Now, I do also have a Aquarian Elves. Got that in there. I'll be honest with you, it was sitting out because it's one of those cards I got autographed by Randy in Memphis. So, and I was like, well, you know what? It works. And then, of course, a Rampant Growth. And I'm trying to use a few cards that I don't normally use. I mean, we use Explosive Vegetation and all the other cards. But you know what? It's not bad. What is that? 2 basic lands. So this is Explosive Vegetation because they intertapped. Explosive Vegetation, and you get to scry 1. So, not bad. Now, Vorosh, I feel how I built it is he is a one-man show. I mean, the entire idea behind the deck is commander damage, and I realize that is, a little narrow, but he's got a few helpers. Vorl of the Hulklade, doubling the counters on him, pretty good. That could actually turn him into a 2-hit clock. Forgotten Ancient. I love a player cast a spell, and then you can move them over from him onto Vorosh. Plaxcaster Frogling. After you get some counters on him, you can give him Shroud. That is beautiful. Now, Crown Ceratok just gives him trample because, he doesn't inherently have trample. And being chump blocked by spirit tokens is not where we want to be. And then, of course, we have Zagana, Utopian Speaker, as another way to give trample. Now, then I was thinking, you know what? What's as good as trample? Not being able to be blocked. So I've got a few things here. The Ether Tunnel, yeah, he gets a little bigger. Hey, that's 7 powers. That matters. And then can't be blocked. So that way, number one, he's not going to die in combat to something crazy. And then number 2, he's guaranteed to make that hit to where you can pay the 3 and get the counters. And that's kind of, you know, just flat can't be blocked, and whenever it attacks you, you even get to scry 1 with Equacious Form. Way of the Thief is not, I think we're up to the, there we go. I've got, I don't know, four gates. I think I've got 1 for each guild, and then I've got the any color one, so it's enough. Mask of Riddles has fear, so that's, you know, it's an evasion ability. And then, you know, you get to draw a card. But my absolute favorite, I love it. It gets +1 and can't be blocked by creatures with flying. Yeah, because he has flying, and that means he just can't be blocked. I don't know. I kind of like that little play there. But now, since we've got our commander out quickly, because we got a whole bunch of rocks, and we've got ways to make him unblockable, let's pump him up a little bit with stuff like Forebear's Blade. Mainly because this is it's kind of Loxodon Warhammerish, except you're trading the lifelink for the vigilance here, and that last ability that may or may not matter in this particular deck. Rancor is going to give it +2 and trample. Gosh, I love Rancor. Darksteel Axe, the +2. Black Blade Reforged. Why not, right? Equip for 3. Eel Umbra. Now, I didn't go too deep into the Umbras. This is the only Umbra that I run, and I just wanted, I don't know, I wanted at least one for the totem armor. Now, I've got Pier. Pier should have totally been with the creatures, by the way. I don't know why it wouldn't, but to add some more counters. Since we are dealing with counters, we might as well be playing with Simic Ascendancy, right? Might as well. Now, Endless Scream is a card that I don't think gets a lot of love. It's a Howl from Beyond that stays around, right? I mean, with especially as much mana rocks as we have, this can potentially turn Vorosh into a one-hit killer. And y'all know I, do weird stuff, and I love Might of Oaks. There's nothing more satisfying than surprise +7/+7. I love it. So let's look at the Haunted Cloak. Vigilance, Trample, Haste. There again, that's in there just for the trample aspect. Vigilance doesn't hurt either. Now, I did go down the dark and twisty path. I did. Grafted Exoskeleton. I mean, we're already talking about making our commander large, so +2 and Infect seems like right where we want to be. And then, of course, Phyresis, since we're already in black. I don't know. I feel like I may be crutching a little too hard on those two particular cards, and I may need to, I don't know. But I'm going to give a Fumble a try, because if there's any deck that wants to try it out, I feel like it's this one. It's absolutely just, I don't know. If somebody else is playing a Voltron type, or even one, if they've got one equipment or one aura on it that's awesome, yeah, I'll attach them to Vorosh. Sure, why not? I'm running Treasured Find. It's my regrowth variant. It exiles itself, but out of regrowth, and I'm pretty sure something I want is going to get destroyed. Now, we're in the colors for Villainous Wealth, and that's about the only reason why I put it in here, because it's an amazing card. For free? Yeah. And we also have a whole lot of ramp in the deck, so that's another reason why. Let's look at some removal. Now, Hunt the Weak, putting a counter on it, and then it fights, so that's cool. am running Naturalize. I'm sorry, Dana. Back to Nature is a good one. We don't have a whole lot of enchantments, so it's not. I feel like I am using Back to Nature a little more than normal simply because we have more enchantment decks out there now. Deglamour I really love for all of those indestructible things. You can just shuffle it away. And then we got some counter magic in Intervene, which I love Intervene because most of the time, I mean, we have one way to get Vorosh Shroud, so most of the time you're going to want this to protect your dude. We've got a mana leak, which a lot of people are not a fan of in our format because we have so much mana at our disposals, but let's face it, people want value. And how many times have you or have you seen somebody else draw that last land you need and then tap out to play something? It happens a lot. Disdainful Stroke. I also tried to focus on one specific mana pip counters because we're running a 3-color deck, and blue is probably too big of an ask. So I wanted to do the one specific ones: Arcane Denial, Negate. Pretty much the same thing for the spot removal too. Go for the Throat, Terror, Doomblade. I am running a Virtue's Ruin because I had one, and you know it encompasses a whole lot of stuff. And then Pendril Mist. Like I said, we don't have a whole lot of creatures to be paying for, and Pendril Mist keeps those token decks in check. It keeps a lot of decks in check. Now let's look at our. It's more card selection than card draw. I mean, we have Ponder, Anticipate, Telling Time, Impulse, Diabolic Vision, which Diabolic Vision is what is that? It's not quite a 5-card brainstorm because you don't draw them, but you know, it's not bad. And I have enough shuffle effects in the lands to not get, you know, instead of brainstorm locked, Diabolic Vision locked. And then of course I have to think twice because it's one card that flashback. So now let's look at our non-basic lands. You know I'm running Rogue's Passage. In this deck, it makes sense, right? I do admit I run Rogue's Passage a whole lot because y'all remember I bought 500 of them a while back, and I mean it's pretty decent, especially for a deck where commander damage is our thing. I'm running the Opal Palace because you know, it's not going to be too long before people figure out that Vorosh is my boy, and I plan on crossing the finish line with him. So, you're going to have to recast him. And when you do, you know, hey. And then, of course, we have the Multicolored Lands. Like I said, a lot of gates. It is a cheaper mana base. I mean, obviously 3 colors, the any color lands, City of Brass would be great, and Reflecting Pools, and all those things that, you know, are scattered out amongst this wall. But, you know, play with what you got. Opulent Palace, and then, of course, we have Evolving Wilds and Terramorphic Expanse to kind of help that, you know, help the everything pretty much. Well, that is what I have got for Vorosh the Hunter, number 403. I appreciate y'all watching. As usual, the deck list is up on deckstats.com. If you're not using DeckStats, it is an amazing thing. What I'm doing, because I've had several people ask the collection, or ask me, you know, how many Soul Rings you got in your collection or whatever. But DeckStats has this collection manager as well. And the beautiful part about it is, once I list the cards in the deck, I can one button click, add this deck to my collection. So that I really like. Now because I switched over from tapped out to deck stats, the reason why is, uh, well, the EDH rec purposes. Y'all know I'm a huge fan of EDH rec. I love those boys over there. Uh, by the way, the EDH rec podcast is amazing. But EDH rec tapped out will not let them scrape data, so, and deck stats will. So I had all these decks, and I'm like, you mean I've built all these decks and I've listed all these deck lists, and they're you can't find them on EDH rec at all, or the results. So that was the main reason why I did it. It is, and there's way more stats. Anyway, I'm not sponsored by deck stats. I know it sounds like it, but I'm just, a user, and I've had really good experiences thus far. Anyway, I guess that's all I've got for today. I appreciate y'all watching, but right now, I think we will shuffle and cut.